All right, so one thing off the bat I want to go ahead and start talking to you about is kickoffs. So right here, what you kind of do is you kind of come out to the right, then back to the left a little more, and then you start zigzagging a little bit. And this is really ineffective. This is only something that could mess with somebody if you're at Grand Champion. If you're at that high of a level, zigzagging like that on a kickoff is only something that could work at a very high level. But this red line that I drew and the blue line, the red line you go out to the right and then you front flip to the ball, or the blue line you just go straight and front flip somewhere in that blue line. That's what you really need to focus on or strive to do with your kickoffs because kickoffs are very, very essential and very important just to your overall Rocket League gameplay, and your kickoffs are something that I noticed has been kind of a weak point for you in your gameplay so far. But the main thing right now that I just want to recommend to you at the beginning is just work on your kickoffs. The hit that you had on your kickoff there was good, but what I'm going to mention to you later are other kickoff mistakes that you made. So right here, when you went for this hit, um, going for the mid boost wasn't exactly the best idea because your teammate was going for it, but you came out and you were going mid for a pass. That's good. But you only picked up one small boost, so you had 12 boosts to go up for this high ball. Right here, you really needed to have more boost to go for this ball to be able to successfully aerial, and he just hit it right over you. So I think if you had more boost and jumped a little bit earlier, you would have been able to do something with that. And then right here, after you missed, you kind of went to their corner boost right here when there was no corner boost, and this is a problem I noticed you had. If you would have moved your camera or took off ball cam to look to see if corner boost was there, you would have been able to see that it wasn't there and that going for it was just nothing. You shouldn't have done that. So right here, the red line that I drew going up the middle, you just need to go straight back to goal. All the space that you spent compared to the yellow and the red line, that's just time wasted, and you're leaving your teammates downfield in a 2v3 when you can get back sooner. So right here, when you're coming back, you should notice that your teammate just landed and he's going for the ball. Now, what I want you to notice here is look at the angle that he has on this ball. He can actually get a good shot on the ball right here. But all you can do is all you can really do is just hit it to the corner of the map. And so right here, I think what you need to understand is that your teammate has a better hit on the ball here than you. So what you need to do is you need to allow your teammate to hit the ball. And this is one thing I've noticed throughout your gameplay is it seems like you're just tunnel visioning on the ball. You're just looking at the ball. You're not looking at your teammates' positions and what they can do or the shots that they can have or how much better their shots can be as compared to what you can have. So right here, it's good that you got a hit on this and you kind of took like a little swerve coming up to it. But what I would recommend is since you keep kind of swerving and zigzagging and you're kind of indecisive in your movements, you need to be more decisive in what you're deciding. And this extra space that you kind of gave them by zigzagging and coming out a little bit right there, that allowed them to hit that ball. And I think you could have challenged earlier and it would have been a lot more successful. And also right here, right after this, when you're going for this ball, you have boost and then you kind of stop using it. And you took an angle right at the ball instead of taking an angle at where the ball is going to be. So if you would have took the yellow line instead of the red line, I think you would have been able to hit the ball right here. And it was a shot on net, but thankfully your teammate was able to, turn around and get the save there. And after that, I wanted to point out, let me rewind it just a little bit more. So look right here at this corner. Everybody's kind of coming over here to this corner boost, and that's exactly what you're doing. Don't do the same things that your teammates are doing. Always do something to position yourself so you're in a position where you can help them out. Going for boost, going for the same things that they're going, it's not helpful. It's not good. And right here's just a minor thing that really kind of enforces my opinion or thought that you're not really paying attention to other things. You're just looking at the ball. I mean, if you were looking around at the opponent's positions and things like that, you would have noticed this guy coming to demo you. So all you had to do is just jump up to avoid it. But that's really the biggest theme in this replay is I just don't think you're looking around the map much. So as soon as you respawn, you immediately go for the ball. And I don't think that's the right decision here. I think you should either go out kind of towards the middle, obviously not in front of your teammate, but just out towards the middle in case he gets a hit, or just make the decision to go back in goal and just defend. But just sitting out right here is just not that's not the best idea. And then you kind of pop it up. But luckily your teammate was back and was able to get a block on it here. But if he wasn't, that pop up could have resulted in a pass that could have resulted in a goal. But and the other thing I just wanted to mention here, when you were like coming up, you're kind of zigzagging and you stopped. You were being still. Being still, stopping your momentum, that's something that you want to try to avoid at all cost. Keep your momentum, keep driving around all the time. And right here, I just wanted to point out, instead of hitting the ball, I would have just kept going up the wall and jumped down in front of your goal so your teammate could have came back and just got a hit on it. And so right here, you just picked up the corner boost, and after you picked it up, you didn't start using it. You waited a little while to start using it, and when you did start using it, you barely used it at all. You used maybe like 10 or 8 of the 100 boost you had, and if you would have used more, you could have got to the ball quicker, and you could have got a hit on the ball. So right here's something that when you get to a higher level is really going to show. So right here, your teammate has possession of the ball. He's trying to hit the ball. What you do is this red line, you go towards the ball and towards the teammate rather than towards the goal that is completely open. So right here, if your teammate doesn't get that touch, that's probably going to be a goal. And so you made the decision there to go for the ball rather than to go to defense and to sit back. And this isn't that big of a thing, but you kind of swooped all the way back into your goal and then came out. Because there wasn't an immediate shot, that wasn't that big of a deal, but that could have been detrimental there. Coming this far back in the goal is not ideal. And here again, I wanted to point out you kind of went to where the ball was rather than to where the ball was going to be. And because you did that, you missed. And the opponent, again, could have got a shot here, but your teammate was there to get a block. And I also want to point out your teammate's in front of you. He's going to jump up and hit the ball. Because he's in a position to hit the ball, you should not go for the ball. You're forcing yourself into a double commit. Instead of jumping up right there as if you're going to try to go for the ball, just go back into your goal. Just be on defense. Just be there. And here's a positioning thing. Kind of out here in the middle is where I think you should be. You've got full boost and you're just driving. You're not flipping to gain momentum to, speed up. You're not using your boost to speed up either. So I just think that right here, the distance between you and your teammate that's up there going for a pass, the distance between you and the ball needs to be closed. Now this right here, it was a good idea to go for this aerial. This is exactly what you should have done. But the only thing here is just execution. You just missed the aerial. That's something that's going to come with time and practice. In my written analysis, I got some training packs for you to go do that I think you're really going to enjoy. They're ones that I still use today. I'm in Champ 3 and I love them. It really helps with aerials. And right here, I might need to rewind this a little bit, but on your retreat back, you could have got a demolition on an opponent, and that's something you should always try to do when you're just in a position where you can't really do anything. If you can demolish an opponent, that opponent that you demolish could be the one that makes a shot on net or something like that. So that's something that I think is important. And so here again, when you're moving forwards, you're going upfield, you're not using your boost, you're not really front flipping, you're not going fast, you're not speeding up, you're being kind of slow. And this kind of position thing you did, you kind of came up, you stopped, and then you moved forward a little bit, and then you decided to retreat and then kind of turn around. I mean, like I mentioned with like stopping and stuff, don't come to complete stops. Always keep your momentum. And this little tap to the corner here, this is perfect. This is good. This is great. Keep doing this. This is awesome what you did here. The only problem was you really didn't hit the ball right there. You turned around kind of late. Your decision to go for it was really late, in my opinion. And right here is what kind of got you screwed up. Um, so what you did, your teammate has possession of the ball, and you're kind of going for the ball in a sense. You're getting really, really close to your teammate in the ball, which is something you do not need to do. The yellow lines kind of indicate the field of play that your teammate's in, and the red lines kind of indicate the fields of play that you need to be in. You're getting away from where you need to be. You need to be back right here. The other thing is you're not looking around. You only see your teammate in front of you and yourself. Where's your third teammate? Is your third teammate behind you, or are they not? Do you need to be in goal to make this save? And right here, you absolutely need to be in goal to make this save. I think instead of going forwards like you do, you can kind of hold back a little bit and wait for a hit to happen and then fall back. But because you can see your third teammate that's way over there across the field, you didn't know that before this. You would have known it if you were looking around the map and things like that. So right here, this kickoff is something you always have to avoid. You and your teammate both went for the kickoff. Never, 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 never go for the same touches on kickoffs that your teammates go for. Only have one person go for the kickoff. The other thing is look at the side of the car that you hit the ball with here on this kickoff. You hit the ball with the back of your car rather than the front of your car. And so after this, I'm going to kind of go into detail. So look at this. You hit the ball with the back of your car. But what you need to strive to do is like look at all the other people here. They're hitting it with the front of their car. That's what you need to try to do on all of your kickoffs. So here I'm going to get into a little bit of detail about what you're doing. So here's just me in kind of free play. What you're doing is you're making your jump early. You're completing your front flip too early, and that's causing you to hit the ball with the back of your car. And that's just something that you're just going to have to practice and just get used to. So what you need to try to do, what you need to practice to do is to front flip and then jump up once. And then as soon as you touch the ball, complete your front flip to the left or to the right, depending on where the opponent's position is on the other side of the ball. So just right here, for example, in free play, I jumped up, and as soon as I touched the ball, I flipped with the front of my car. This right here is something that you need to practice, you need to strive to perfect. And so right here, I'm going to kind of get into something that's very, very basic. I don't think you necessarily need to understand this or know this. I don't feel like I really need to explain this to you, but it's something that I'm just going to explain anyway, just as kind of a refresher. So you can do a front, there are like 8 different directions you can flip. You can flip straight front, you can flip straight backwards, you can flip straight to the right, and you can flip straight to the left. That's very basic. I don't think I need to explain that to you, but you can also flip forwards to the right, forwards to the left, and you can flip back to the right and back to the left. But for these kickoffs, all you're going to be focusing on is front to the right, front to the left. And so just practicing flipping like this in free play, I think would be very good for you to not just practice for the touches on kickoffs, but to practice for power shots, things like that too. So here I've got a few in-game examples of me kind of doing this. You're not always going to win kickoffs, but so right here I jump up once and then I kind of flip to the left. Now I don't fully win this kickoff, but I bounce it up to the point where my opponent, or I'm sorry, my teammate can come up and get a really good hit on it. So right here I'm going to kind of slow it down just a little bit. So right here I hit the ball first, it bounces to him, and then the ball kind of dies. But because I flipped to the left, guess where the ball went? The ball went to the left. You can control kickoffs. Now these next 2 or 3 examples I have are going to be very, very good examples that showcase this. So right here I flip to the right. I'll try to slow this down a little bit here. So I jumped up, we kind of hit it at the same time, and then I flipped to the right. Well, guess what side of the map the ball went to? I went to the side that I flipped to. I flipped to the right, the ball went to the right. So right here, again, I kind of flipped to the right, and well, guess where the ball went? I went to the right. You can control kickoffs, and this is something that you need to understand at your level. I believe this one and the very next one. So I hit it, it bounces to the opponent, and then it bounces right back to me. That's why it's important to get to kickoffs as fast as you can. So right here is one that really emphasizes it, and this is a good teaching point. So when you're going for kickoffs, you're not just looking at the ball, you're looking at other things. So here's going to be an example where what am I looking at? I'm looking at the boosts that I'm picking up on the way to the ball, and I'm also looking at the position of the opponents on the other side of the ball. So right here, what am I looking at? I'm looking at this boost right here in the middle that I'm going to go for. And also, I'm looking above the ball and I'm looking at the name tags on the other side of the ball. I'm trying to see which opponent is going for it. And after that, once I'm right here in front of the ball before this kickoff happens, I notice that my opponent is on the left side of the ball. So what I need to do is I need to flip to the right side. Now, it's not always going to be you need to flip to the right side. Your opponent could be all going to the right side of the ball and you need to flip to the left. But here's just an example where, if I would have flipped to the left here, my opponent would have won this kickoff. But because I flipped to the right, I won the hell out of this kickoff. And this is just something I just really want you to understand and go out, in games and practice doing this. It's not always going to work. This is not something that 100% works because if you and your team, or I'm sorry, if you and your opponent both flip to the same side, like if they go towards the middle rather than to the left or the right, you kind of have to guess which way to flip. So this isn't something that's always going to work, but it's something that can work a lot of the times, and it's something that you just need to understand and that you need to go out and practice a little bit. So back to gameplay. You made the decision after, this kickoff, and you landed. Obviously, you hit your teammate's hit, which wasn't intentional. But the decision you did is you made to come all the way to the opponent's corner boost that wasn't there and then decided to rotate back. You left your teammates again in a 2v3 situation. So right here on your way back, The one thing I want to point out that I don't like is you weren't paying attention to your teammate. Your teammate's coming over for the ball, and you're also going for the ball. You're double committing here. Double commits are the death of players in Diamond and Champion, and I think these double commits that you're doing, this is one of the things that's holding you back in Platinum. Um, if you start paying attention to more things around the map, just simply by paying attention to more things that are going on, I think you'll climb. You'll climb in rank very easily. You'll get into Diamond, and I think you could get to High Diamond just by paying attention to what's going on around the map. So right here, I wanted to point out, you might have to rewind this a little bit, but when you decided to come for this ball, you didn't know where your other teammate was. Your other teammate was going for it, and he had a much better hit on the ball, or he had a much better angle, I'm sorry, on the ball than you, but you still went for it. So right here, hanging back is the good idea here. I would recommend actually just coming over and get this corner boost that's here, and then go out towards the middle. One thing I don't really like is you're kind of on the same side of the map as both your teammates, and then you're just kind of going, and then you double jump right here. You double jumped over the ball, so you completely missed. And this is another problem I noticed throughout your gameplay is that you double jumped a lot. And when you did, you just went flying over the ball, and that's what caused you to miss a lot. So right here, pay attention to your teammate. Your teammate is going to be coming up, and you kind of flipped out toward the middle, I assume, to try to hit the ball. I don't really know what your intention was there. I feel like only you know what that was. But if you're trying to hit the ball there, that's not the right intention. But if you're trying to like maybe bump an opponent's car or something, that would be the right intention. And so here's something that you're just going to have to practice with the training packs I'm going to give you and things like that. Going for this aerial is 100% the right thing to do. The bad thing is you waited a long time and you hit it with the side of your car and you hit it off to the side rather than hitting it to the net or to their corner or something. You didn't hit it with power. And so your hit down was basically a pass to the opponent, and he was able to get a shot on net, which resulted in a goal. So just the result of your aerial touch there wasn't what it should be. And right here's another thing where you're being very indecisive, I feel like. You're just waiting a long time, and you're being very late to the ball, to making your decision to go for the ball. You just have to quicken your decision making here. And this is another little, very small, minute thing. So after you landed on the roof of your car rather than landing on your wheels. So you need to practice, just using your air rolls and just landing on your wheels in every single kind of situation. So it was good that you went for that challenge and you actually got a touch on it there. So right here, you turned and then you stopped, and luckily they missed. So right here, you should have turned out earlier than you did, because when the opponent got that hit on the ball, you should have been able to tell that it was going to bounce off the wall. And the other thing I noticed is when you turned, you kind of went towards goal and then you stopped. This little point where you stopped, if the opponent got a shot on net, you would have been screwed. You didn't have any momentum. You would have had to start to go for the ball with zero momentum, and that would just put you in a position where the only thing that would happen would be you being unsuccessful. So going for that challenge there in the corner, that was 100% right. You just have to hit the ball next time, and that's understandable. But this right here, you turned around quick, you got the shot, it's perfect. But what I was just talking about with the challenge in the corner, even though you didn't hit the ball, it's good that you applied pressure, because applying pressure forces the opponents to get hits on the ball that they might not want, or it at least forces the opponents to get worse hits on the ball than they would like. So this clear was good, except it just needed to be a little bit more powerful. I would have liked to have seen that go up the wall a little more. So right here, you really screw up your teammate. Um, so as you're moving forwards, you see your teammate right here on your left. He's moving forwards, and you're also moving forwards to the middle as well. And after your third teammate that's way up there with the ball, after this challenge, you lose sight of your teammate that's on the left. Now, what you do here is you can hit the ball to the corner or straight to the left. Now, the opponent that you have, or I'm sorry, the teammate that you have on the left has a really good chance at scoring this, or at least getting a shot on net. But because you went for this ball, that tells me you weren't aware of your teammate's position and the shot that they could have got on net. Your teammate could have got a shot, possibly a goal. And just look at these two arrows of where you hit the ball and where your teammate could have hit the ball. Which one was better? Your teammates. And that's just a map awareness, game sense type thing that you're just going to have to practice. It's going to come with time. It's not something you're going to get down within one day, but it's just something you need to think about. And this minor thing, coming back into the goal, you kind of flailed around because you hit your corner. That could result in bad things. And here I want to point out also, you're just kind of sitting in net. You're not doing anything. And also, when you go up for the ball, you're very late to it, which is why the opponent was able to score easily there with fairly little contest. You and your teammate both jumped up to try to hit it, but neither of you did hit it. Um, so right here, what I don't like is both your teammates are going for the ball. Well, what do? You move up as if you're going for the ball. Your half of the map is completely open. If they can get it clear to your side of the map, I mean, it's basically GG right there. They can get a goal. One thing I don't like about this is, again, it's a double jump. You jumped way over the ball. And the reason you got a touch here is because the opponent jumped up and hit it into your car. And you were also late to making your decision to go for this ball here. So right here, you're not really front flipping. It took you a while to make the decision to start front flipping to go back on defense. So right here, again, you were kind of late to it, but it resulted in a goal. So I really don't want to say that this was bad, but you were just overall, this play was slow. You just need to speed up, your movements, speed up your decisions, speed up your shots like this. Um, like you see how it bounced in front of the net. What you want to try to do is keep it in the air as long as possible so that it can go into the net without bouncing. That's what those kind of shots are super hard to save, and those are the kind of shots you need to practice making in free play or in the trainings. So right here, how I mentioned that you don't need to go for the same kickoffs that your teammates go for. You kind of stay back and you're cheating up a little bit while your teammate goes for the ball. This is perfect. Do this always, always, always if you're not the one that's going for the ball. Now the mistake that was made here is after this kickoff, look where the ball was. You've got 45 boost right here, and you're not using any of it to get back to your goal because your teammate that's in front of you right here is the one that's going for it. You could have been back into the goal right here, and you could have made it clear. You could have made a save. You could have prevented this right here. And I'm not saying it's entirely your fault that goal got scored because your teammate should have got a hit, but you need to try to position yourself in places where you can assist your teammates because this is a team game. There's just something that was something there that you could have done a whole lot better with. And that late or that jump, sorry, that jump was a fairly late jump before then. So right here, you've got two boosts. You really can't do anything here. I would have just recommended going back because that would have signified to your teammate that, hey, your teammate could go for the ball rather than you. Um, so right here, you don't have any boost. I understand you jumped up to try to save the opponent's shot because you thought it was going to come directly at you, but it didn't. Now, the other thing to notice here is your teammate down here in the left, he's going to jump up to try to get a block. What you need to do is follow the yellow arrow, stay on the ground, and just get to your goal because right there, you and your teammate double committed. And the reason that double commit happened was because you went for it when you didn't need to. And that's another common theme I've noticed. And then right here, when you're going for the ball, you really didn't have any boost. You weren't trying to pick up small boosts, which is another problem I noticed throughout this gameplay, is that you weren't really picking up any small boosts. And that's actually going to be the end of the replay. I just want to point out, or kind of in conclusion, work on double jumps and work on your aerials. I'm going to put some training packs and a lot of thoughts of mine into the written analysis part, so definitely read over that and go over that. Um, you need to look around the map more, move your camera, turn off your ball cam, because I don't think that you turned your ball cam off at all during that game. Turn your ball cam off to look where boost is at, to look where opponents at, to look where teammates are at, to see where the positions of people are, to see what touches people can get. Try to read what's going to happen before it actually does, because that will help you in positioning correctly and positioning better so that you can help your teammates and ultimately help yourself win the game. Focus on picking up more small boosts. You kept going to the opposite side of the map to get large boosts and and you just kind of left your opponents in a 2v3 situation. Sometimes doing that is okay, but in the times that you chose to do it, it was really not the right time to do it. And the right times to do that are going to be when your team is not on defense. If your team gets a deep clear into the opponent's side of the map, go over and get that boost or something like that. But completely abandoning your team and leaving them 2v3, that's just not the right play at all. And it's okay that these things I'm pointing out are problems because I don't know that you might be aware of them. And that's the whole purpose of this is me to point out the issues or things that you might need to work on or improve on. And I hope all this stuff helps you out. If there's anything I've talked about that you really didn't understand fully, just shoot me an email or a message on Discord or something like that. I'll be more than happy to, try to elaborate further on some things that you might not have understood. I hope I explained everything correctly, but again, if I didn't explain something where you could understand it, just let me know and I'll send you more messages and try to make you understand some more things. But that's all I got for you, man. If you got any questions, hit me up. I would love if you would leave a review of this analysis on my profile on the Gamers Ready website. And best of luck to you, man.